Tenet 28. Energy is mass times the speed of light squared. We are this aware of itself. You're asking me? First, there's a lot more math to this than I have led you to believe. So, I speak basically, which admittedly reflects the sharpness of my knowledge of the details of the disciplines from which these brilliant discoveries were made. In this way, I proceed. The amount of energy that your body has at its disposal is equal to your mass, not the same as your weight, times the speed of light multiplied by itself. I cannot find my physics books, so you may have to figure that out. The speed of light is like 2.99792 times 10 raised to the 5th power, which is 299,792.458 kilometers per second, or, as mentioned earlier, 186,000 miles per second. Now multiply that times your mass, and you have the amount of energy contained in your body. Perhaps you'll notice that that is a lot of energy. I do not know Einstein, but our paths have crossed numerous times, as you may well imagine, with me running around saying that everything is energy and that we are it aware of itself. I conceived of energeticism before I knew that someone else had already given that name to their ideas. In researching what seemed to be mine, I found two names that are recognized in conjunction with the word energeticism. The first was Wilhelm Ostwald. The other was Ernst Mach, the man after whom Mach speed is named. Just as I started to write this, I read up on Ernst Mach. It turns out that he was dear friends with none other than Albert Einstein. I knew long ago that Einstein had revolutionized science with his theory of relativity and that the behavior of energy had everything to do with it. I just could never understand how these brilliant people could not convey to the world what they knew, which I think is what I'm trying to share with you. Perhaps they knew that people were not ready. Perhaps people are still not ready. I tend to think that we are, especially if a person like me can write a book like this and get away with it. Many of Mach's philosophies are nearly identical to many of the philosophers that are contained in these pages, and he writes them as was customary back in his day. This book was written for today. I have only read a few small clips of Mach's work, and this was well after I knew what I was writing. I do not profess to know every detail of every subject on this planet, nor did I have time in my 32 years thus far to research thoroughly every detail that you need to understand yourself and this universe fully. If I did, what would that leave for you? I am merely providing a foundation upon which you will be much better able to understand this crazy place we live in called Earth and the known universe. So, you can go research Einstein when you get a chance to break away from the drama that you find yourself wrapped up in as soon as you put this book down. I would like to host an annual festivity on 10/10 and 4/10 of each year, and I will, if I get the means, and you will be invited every year until you do something that gets you kicked out. You know who you are. Maybe. This tenet is for you to know what energy is. Energy is matter and its motion. I say that energy is anything that is a thing, as do the first and second laws of thermodynamics. Einstein says that an object's mass times the speed of light squared is the object's total potential energy. Somewhere in there is you, an energetic existence making real your potential energy every day with every breath, every utterance, every footstep. You are energy aware of itself. This was my first formulation for the ultimate existence, before I admitted that we were the energy of the universe aware of itself. It works, except that we are what energy does, aware of itself, which is even more profound. I will be completely satisfied for the planet to just admit that we are all human and deserve each other's respect. Purely, we are energy aware of itself, before anything else. We are our mass times the speed of light squared, aware of itself in this universe. Can you really deal with that? Before you answer, there is more, obviously. Energy aware of itself. Those are the tenets to energeticism, along with my feeble attempts to describe and express them in ways that are easily perceivable and within the grasp of most human consciousnesses or awarenesses, whatever, right? Again, the tenets that are written all together at the beginning of this chapter in green stand alone, while my descriptions might not be perfect. Humans usually use that to discount an entire person and everything they ever said or will say, and everything that their family ever said, and everything that their family's friend's dog has to say. Please do not make this mistake with this. That is especially why the tenets are written by themselves at the beginning of this chapter, so you do not have to paperclip and sticky note everything trying to dig through all kinds of stuff that you read through pretty carefully the first time. All other information is meant to shed greater light on the tenets or upon all that you hold dear that is in direct contradiction to the tenets. Take a few moments to figure that out. Should you proceed from here, I will further describe the position that we seem to find ourselves in and what it is like to live every day, day to day, while recognizing many of the things that you have encountered here. Energetic existence. Exciting stuff, really. You may also encounter something you were not expecting to see. And then we will discuss our relationship as messenger and audience in the chapter that ends this work. Us. You have lasted through quite a bit, and I applaud you, unless you just opened this book to the page by coincidence. In that case, you should go back to wherever you came from. Just kidding. You can open this book to any page at any time and probably glean some new insight to life or some problem. Start anywhere. Anyway, sorry, I was distracted there for a second. You've been through a lot, before this and through this, and I commend you for all that you've been through to get to this point. I would love for you to not regret it. Where all of this leads is the real meat and potatoes of this movement. Where we go from here will literally be up to us. I am confident that we will do exactly what we want to do, or at least I will. Many still do not know what they want. Okay, time to move on to Chapter 6, Our Position.